Hi everyone, welcome to Twee and Edith Argue.
Not really argue. We might disagree on a few things, but it's not so much. But welcome everybody.
Twee and Edith Argue. We do argue about everything. We're arguing about this. She's saying not really, and I'm saying yes.
Okay. Twee and E argue. Tea. A nice cup of tea.
So I was thinking, because you were saying how, like, whatever, you were calling me an idiot, and I was thinking of all the different ways.
Did I use that word?
No, I think, actually, I was pretending to be you and calling myself adult. And then I thought of all the different ways of calling somebody an idiot. Like a thesaurus.
Okay.
I say dolt.
Dolt.
That's a good one.
I've never even heard that. Spell it for me.
D-O-L-T.
Dolt.
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 Say adult.
Adult. Adult.
Like
my sister's calling me.
A grown-up.
An adult.
Adult.
Adult. Adult is an idiot.
Dolt.
Adult.
Archery.
Artery.
The pulmonary artery.
Anyway.
So, Edith.
Yes.
I heard recently that you were crazy at the lobster pot, but that was like years ago.
That was, Marcella's birthday. Do you remember?
Marcella, a good friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, she just celebrated another sobriety anniversary. And I don't remember you being nutso.
I blame Pam McCurdy and the limousine ride on the way down there and all the bottles of wine that you forced me into drinking before we got there. Forced me. Held my mouth up and put in a funnel, poured down a bottle or two on the way to the lobster pot.
I don't think I had to do any kind of forcing.
And I think I came home with salt, pepper, hot pepper sauce. I don't know how many condiments you shoved in my purse.
That's right.
But there was enough. And then the door fell off the bathroom, going into the bathroom at one point.
I don't remember that.
The top. No, you weren't in the bathroom at that time. I think it were Crystal and
Mel.
maybe Sammy and Melody. Yeah. Just got a little over energetic, I think.
So it was
got
you.
A burst of strength, and the door came off.
Pulled the door open and it came off.
Yeah, just like that. Just like that.
So alcohol is your super juice.
It is.
It's
gives my superpower. It gives me super strength.
That's what we should do. That's how you should train for pickleball.
Drink.
That's how I train for my Spartans.
It's a good way to go. I like it.
I forgot about all the condiments.
I will put in many effort.
That's why I'm able to I'm not able to stand still during pickleball.
Yeah.
Very energetic. A door came off. That sounds similar to my story from years past, days of yore. I can't believe you haven't heard of that story. Come on, I've told you that at one point.
I've never heard of you taking a door off its hinges.
Yeah, I was a little over enthusiastic and just being silly over at good old Memories Lounge.
Oh, okay.
With the old McCurdy's crew. Mm-hmm. Regular after work shift outing. Just walk across the street and the regular crew was like Walter, Bill, Mel, Debbie, Marcella was probably there, and Bronwyn, and Mel went into the bathroom to use the restroom
usually that's why one goes to the bathroom
to relieve herself. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, for whatever reason, it was funny. Like, I'm following her and I'm standing on the stall. There's only 2 stalls, right? And it's a dive bar. Really just like shady characters hang out there, including us.
You were the shady character. You followed her, and I believe you it looks like you're crouching on a toilet or something, looking over the stall.
Yes, just to be stupid. Just to be stupid. Uh-huh. And I remember she was peeing, and I'm like hanging over, and I'm like, I can see you. And I just thought it was hilarious because, you know, we're like 12 sheets to the wind.
Okay.
And she's just like, stop looking at me. And she's trying to like avoid it, but she's still trying to like not miss the bowl, right? And I don't know. I thought it was just funny. Like I was on the actual stall and then I kind of lifted it and it came off and the whole thing came undone. And here I am, I'm holding the toilet paper holder, the dispenser, and then the bartender on duty walks in and he looks at me and I have the whole entire stall wall in my arms. And I look at him, he looks at me, he shakes his head,
and
he walks right out. Yeah. Oh man, talk about like getting your hand caught in the cookie jar.
Right.
Like I was holding the whole entire stall. Mel starts laughing. I think her butt's still hanging out, you know. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to advocate like vandalism.
This behavior is terrible.
I went back and I paid for that. I paid back then some because it was only like a couple of screws and hinges that you needed, and I paid for like the plywood and the whatever. The next time I came in there, it was just they just put like new hinges on. Like really, I paid $80 for the repairs. So
funny, huh?
Yeah,
it's funny.
But it gave me a story that I have to share with my great grandchildren.
That's $80 needlessly spent. Needlessly spending.
Because I consumed about $80 worth of shots.
Overspending.
I know.
That's what people do.
That's actually, for me, one of my pet peeves of overspending. It's like the number one. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're all guilty of it. You and I do it.
I know.
You probably did it last night.
I do it.
But we overspend on alcohol.
Night?
I don't know, because you're always drinking.
Yeah, but I do that at home.
That's what. Yeah, but you're still, well, okay. Not as much overspending then, right, since you did it at home.
And what do you mean? I'm always drinking. I'm not always drinking.
Yeah, you are.
Water. I drink a lot of water. It's good for you. Water's good for you. Yeah, I like to have a drink here and there.
But, you know, okay, you like drinking at home. And so do I. I enjoy having a drink at home. What is it about, why do we overspend to have a drink out and about with our friends? Like, you could still be out with our friends. Why do we need to overspend in order to have a good time with them?
I don't know. It's not just alcohol, though, right? People overspend on many things. Like
that's true.
Household products, pretty much. Household, the main things that people overspend on. Household, transportation.
I could probably think of right now, just off the top of my head, if you were to say, like, what are the top 5 things that people overspend on? I know there's
necessities or luxuries.
Anything. I know that there's probably some default answers. Like you always see on lists, you see like people say like coffee, because come on, coffee's like so overpriced. And you probably hear things that are typical, like insurance, right? But like I can think of like 5 things right now that I wouldn't necessarily say like the whole world, but definitely like Americans overspend on. Like if you had to like name a couple right now, like what would you say?
I would say alcohol, makeup.
That's a good one.
Food. That's 3 that I can think of at the top of my head. Like just thinking, those 3 I think people overspend on.
Right.
Otherwise, transportation, which you can't help on sometimes.
What do you mean by that when you say that? You mean like buying a vehicle? Because that's actually on my list. That's the first thing I thought of too.
Buying a car, they're expensive.
Yes.
People like to, I mean, not just the purchase of the car, but the upkeep of the car also.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things on my mental list was a vehicle, because I've been looking, you know, for Daniel. We've been looking at cars and vehicles, and oh my goodness, have you seen? I mean, a vehicle could have 163,000 miles. I'm not even exaggerating. 163,000 miles, maybe like 2015, and it's still going for like $15,000-$20,000.
It's a lot.
It's like almost like 10 years old, and
it depends on what kind of a car it is, the make of it. I mean.
True.
How many owners it's had, how well kept it's been, like if it's had its if it's been kept, the maintenance has been kept up every year by,
I guess. Yeah.
But, I mean, because some of those 163,000 miles, I mean, a good car will still give you another 163,000 miles.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's taken care of, if you look after the vehicle, it'll run for a while. You just gotta take care of shit.
So
you have to take care of things.
Don't buy a vehicle from you.
No. Don't. When I'm done with a vehicle, it's done. It's probably not running anymore. Whether it's been written off by the insurance company or it's totaled. It's done.
It's just knackered, stuck in a ditch.
For the knacker's yard.
Right. Well, I mean, you've been to like Europe and everything too, and I feel for most Europeans, I don't know, it's not like I took some kind of official survey, but they're not all about like cars and getting like the latest and greatest or the most luxurious. It's about more of like just a practical way of getting from A to B.
You're right.
It's small, it's compact. I mean, the cars are tiny.
The roads are tiny.
Right.
Like, I didn't think that obviously growing up, but from living in America for a while and then going back home and driving on the roads at home, yeah, it's kind of scary. You need a small car.
Right.
You need a tiny car.
And then now, like,
no big cars like what's over here. No.
Right. And the advent of like e-bikes and e-scooters, they're like taking all over too. It's almost as if like Europe is going the opposite. They're going like smaller and smaller versus like here they're getting like bigger and bigger. Yeah.
Right.
One of the other things I think that people overspend on, I do agree with like alcohol. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, still do it.
Yeah.
You know, you could buy a bottle.
That's one of my.
You could buy a bottle of whiskey or buy a bottle of cognac and just sip it at home and enjoy, or you can go out and pay $8-9 a shot to sip it on.
Yeah, to socialize.
5 shots later, or 5 snifters later, and only
There's
10
a door
minutes.
Missing.
10 minutes.
A door missing in the bathroom. The whole cubicle's gone.
Cubicle. Yeah, it's called a stall.
Same thing. Cubicle, stall.
You're not doing work in there. You're stalling.
You are doing work in there sometimes. Anyway.
Another thing, let me know if you agree, because I don't know what your bills and stuff are, but I think another thing that people overspend on, but there's almost like no way around it. Well, you tell me, but I feel like cell phones / technology / mobile service. Like technology. It's gotten out of control.
Phones and iPads and just devices to use.
Like the latest iWatch, you know, it's like coming out, and then you have to pay like another $1,000.
That's only if you get them. I mean, you use your stuff, or I do at least, until it falls to pieces, and then I'll get a new one.
Right.
You, however, when the latest thing comes out, you have to get it.
No,
I saw this thing and. Oh, it looks so fancy, and I got it, and it works nice.
That's not me at all. That's not even how I sound.
What phone do you have?
It's an iPhone 15.
Is that the latest one?
It is the latest one.
Oh, okay.
But the one I had previous to it was an iPhone 10. And then the one before that was actually an iPhone 5S. So, like every 5 generations I get one. It's not like next year the 16's coming out and I gotta get it. Seriously, it was actually 5 years before I got it.
Yeah?
And I only got it because I cracked the screen. Otherwise, I would have been perfectly happy with it.
Yeah?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You know who's listening.
I do know who's listening.
Okay.
It's true.
All right.
And this is actually, I only got it because my Fitbit got lost. I didn't like go out searching to get an Apple Watch. Yeah. This is actually a 3. This is like the oldest series that you could get, because 1 and 2 is not available anymore.
Okay.
What do you have? Like a 10?
I don't even know what it is. It was a gift.
Oh, well.
So.
Wow. How fortunate. By gift, you mean you stole it? It was a gift to yourself.
I still don't know what it is.
She stole it.
However it came in my person, I don't know what generation it is.
She jacked it off someone's porch in an Amazon package.
No, I didn't. They had it on the wrist. I took it straight off the wrist.
Nice. How much do you pay for your cell phone service? That is a ripoff, seriously. People overspend on that, and I know it doesn't cost the companies anything. They have lines everywhere. Come on.
Again, not a bill I pay, so I don't know.
Wow.
I'm just thinking about it now. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so spoiled.
She is spoiled.
So yeah, another thing I don't know about. So something else I'm not overspending on.
Things that people overspend on, except for Edith, apparently. Wow.
Okay.
I feel that like once there's more cell phone companies, remember like when cable first came out and it was like so expensive because there's only like one or two companies and you had to pick between them. Mm-hmm. But then the more companies came out, then obviously they had to compete. Prices kind of got a little bit more tolerable. I kind of feel like the same way with like cell phone and internet services.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It says that the
cable. Yeah.
It says that the average cell phone bill in the U.S. is $144. That's a month.
Really?
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
I mean, that's like car insurance.
That's the average?
Yes. I would imagine it's slower in places like Europe where they have like maybe, I don't know, people don't use like their phones as much, I feel like. They use like the internet more and they maybe like text more, but they don't necessarily use their phones.
I don't know. How can you?
In a lot of places,
bill be 140. I mean, you gotta have other subscriptions and stuff on your phone. The bill itself is that's outrageous.
Yeah, that's probably
that's average.
Unlimited data for texting and probably unlimited minutes. Back in the day, you had to like watch how many texts
messages you send,
and you're telling people not to like text you back unless absolutely necessary because it was costing you like a quarter every time they like sent you just one thing. I remember those days.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
I have we kind of sort of like said the same things except you said like makeup.
Yeah, that's just me personally. I feel like people spend money on makeup.
Is that why you don't wear
advertisements on TV for like, oh God, not another eyeliner. Oh, not another eyelash extender. Oh my gosh. And then all the lashes and nails and it's just not my thing. So
why isn't it your thing?
I think that's a waste of money. What do you mean why ain't it my thing?
You just think you're like naturally beautiful?
I just think everybody is. You don't need
me too.
Makeup. I think most people are.
You don't think I need makeup? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think you do. I think after you've filled your pores full of that crap, then you need more stuff to clean out your pores and clean all that crap. Yeah, it's just like a vicious circle. But I suppose if you feel like you're hideous and you need to paint your face, then paint away. Again, just my opinion. And some people can paint pretty.
Some people don't necessarily think that they're hideous, but it makes them feel good.
Yeah. It does.
The last thing I have, so you thought of like makeup, that's a good one. Something that's kind of like not necessarily on the forefront of my mind, but I kind of think about it. I feel, so like we said alcohol, you said makeup, we both agreed on food, we both agreed on like, you said transportation. I said like cars, right?
Right.
Then I said technology, but like my fifth one, I feel that most people, again, just my personal opinion, I feel that most people overspend on weddings.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I didn't have to like Google anything or look it up. That's just my own opinion. I just feel that like, oh my goodness, people get so carried away with the plans and the details. Now, I can almost like justify it because it's like all these other things like alcohol and stuff. That's like daily, weekly, monthly. But like a wedding is like a once in a lifetime.
Thing. Yeah.
So it's almost as if like,
it's worth it. It's
kind of. but it's still crazy. It's still a lot. I had to look this up, right? An average cost of a wedding in Florida, 2023. Can you have any guesses?
Let's see, an average.
Oh, an important detail, 150 to about 200 guests, okay?
Okay. I'm going to say average 60,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
Is it a lot?
It's less than that.
Way less than that?
Yeah, it's less than that. Again, it's just average. People probably can spend that much, but this is less than that.
Okay, so you said that's a lot, so I'm going to go half of that. So like maybe 27,000.
Yeah, it's a little over 28,000.
Yeah.
Is the average for about 150 to 200 guests. That's $140 per guest that you're spending on. But that's like decorations, the food, the dress,
video, clothing,
music, the venue.
Yeah.
That, most of the time when they say that, by the way, they're not including the cost of the engagement ring. This is just like the actual wedding.
Yeah.
Just like FYI.
It's a different thing. So
right.
then there's an pie for that.
But I had to include that detail. That doesn't include, because people can go nuts with the engagement ring as well. But I also wanted to see how much the projected amount was going to be for 2024. Just to see like how much inflation or how much,
let's say 33,000.
37,000.
37,000.
Yes.
So it went up nearly $10,000.
Yes. Yeah, that's the projected. It's only April, but we'll see.
Well, everybody's got to do something bigger and better than the last person that did it, right?
I guess. And things are getting more and more expensive. So, of course, in general, the average wedding is going to be more. But
that's why people elope.
Are you going to invite me to your eloption nuptials?
Sure.
Are you?
Yeah.
How's that going to work out?
Someone needs to carry my luggage. That would be you.
Someone needs to stick that funnel down your throat.
That also would be you.
You don't need any kind of forcing whatsoever, so.
Twee, you know, you are a bad influence. If you ask Tony, he'd say you're a bad influence.
I don't know why I'm the bad influence when she's the one who always gets in trouble, even when I'm not around.
You taught me well. How about that?
Oh my goodness.
You taught me well.
Edith is ridiculous. Well, how about all of you? You know, some of you can like weigh in on your opinions on what people overspend on, and not just people. Yeah, not just like Americans or like Europeans, but even like different generations. Like, you know, people like Edith and I's age, which is mid-20s.
Young.
You know, we might be overspending on different things than the college kids these days, or the older people, you know, of this generation. And I say that tongue-in-cheek because, you know, we're older, so. But yeah, weigh in. Like,
speak for yourself.
What do people overspend on? Like, share with us in some of the comments. Call in, write to us. Edith, where can people find us?
They can find us on Facebook. They can find us on Instagram. They can find us on Twitter. They can find us on most social media platforms.
Any major listening platforms such as Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, any of those podcast type of platforms. Please feel free to subscribe and join along on our fun. You can even give us ideas on things that you would like to hear us argue about.
Yes. That would be nice.
I'll argue with Edith over anything.
She often does.
Like her mom loves me more. Mumsy.
I'm not even going there.
Yeah.
Not even. Mumsy knows where her bread and butter's buttered.